Of all the migrations existing within the animal kingdom, the salmon's journey is one of the most famous and most extreme. Along the west coast of North America, heavy autumn rains have transformed small streams into roaring rivers, allowing millions of salmon to migrate inland in order to spawn. After spending several years in the open ocean feeding and growing strong enough for the journey, salmon begin their migration, usually between September and November. One species travels from the Atlantic toward the interior of North American and European coasts, and 7 others travel from the Pacific toward the interior of Asian and North American coasts. These fish return to their natal streams where they were born. It's thought that salmon navigate using the Earth's magnetic fields and are able to recognize the smell of their home stream, allowing them to return within meters of where they emerged from their egg. They return to their natal stream because they know it's a great place to spawn and suitable for the survival of young salmon, and subsequently don't spend unnecessary time and energy searching for a mate or adequate spawning habitat. But this involves swimming upstream up to several thousand kilometers of river from the ocean and defying obstacles and predators. For salmon, the first step of their journey is to locate their original estuary, the spot in the river where they were born that joins the sea. To do this, they use magnetoreception, a sense that lets them detect the Earth's magnetic field and orient themselves accordingly. Once they have managed to find and return to the estuary, salmon are ready to swim up the river. As salmon leave the ocean and enter fresh water, they stop feeding and begin deriving all their energy from stored fats. But in the meantime, as they are getting closer to freshwater, and the water salinity drops, their metabolism and morphology have distinctly changed. Their silver-blue scales are replaced with bright reds, greens, and purples. The male's jaw takes the shape of a hook, and it grows sharp teeth in order to defend its young. In some species, the male also grows a hump on its back to make it more visible at the surface, so that predators attach more males than females, which are more important for reproduction. A single female salmon lays roughly 4,000 eggs, however, after hatching and facing endless obstacles and constant predation while migrating downriver, then traversing the ocean for several years, and migrating back upriver. An average of only 2 will return to create the next generation. Salmon swim upstream and forge ahead non-stop. Their sense of smell sharpens. This is what helps them locate their birthplace. Not only are there rapids and waterfalls along the way, forcing salmon to jump up to a height of 3.5 meters in the air, there are also predators that come to the river specifically to catch migrating salmon, and many salmon do not survive the journey. Once they arrive, the females spend their remaining energy building nests, in which they lay their eggs that the males will then fertilize. Most of the salmon then decline and die, natural process following reproduction. As they decompose, their bodies will release large quantities of nutrients that will enrich both the river and its surrounding areas. The bodies of salmon nourish the trees along the riverbanks, and in return, the trees provide shade and roots to protect the soon-to-be-born offspring of salmon. In the nests, the eggs hatch, releasing the young. Born in winter, in small creeks and streams, salmon escape their pink eggs as elephant with their yolk sac still attached. They emerge from the gravel. They will have to fend for themselves to grow up. Feeding on plankton, salmon grow into fry. They hide under branches and water plants as they feed at night. The dark is salmon hiding them from predators. As salmon grow bigger, become stronger, they change their bodies change from within to adapt to the saltwater where they will live for some 3 years. They lose their green coats and exchange it for a mantle of silver scales that makes them less visible in the ocean. As young salmon swims downstream from their birthplace toward the ocean, the sense of the river and its affluents are imprinted in their brains. This gives them a map of sense which allows them to find their way back to the upstream of the river when they become adults. They swim to the ocean to begin the cycle all over again.